shonga chuji anji podrana tosen sanji kanji konyet rasme shurga musme stunza sawe lama namla sorate kirba sanji chuva shigdanye nyamba drupa shomla tanda sanjine manere dambe janso to jamso shabla sorate kirba sanje chua shigdanye nyamba drupa shomla tanda sanjine manere dambe janso to jamso shabla sorate lame josme janso toje shirka kare pama shomla chi Shenru Tsunga Kelwe Nyuku Ye Tanda Dropa Tanjina Dropa Ho Anjin Lame Trambe Kajela Kosma Jaro Shitru Lazo Rale Shana Nipre Tujoni Tuyo Irmi Jure Shinji Lo. Everybody raise Bodhicitta to benefit countless suffering sentient beings. May all beings have happiness and all the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and all the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the great happiness, devoid of suffering. And may they forever dwell in the great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. To sacred Bodhicitta, the precious and excellent mind, where it is not, may it arise. Where it is, may it never decline, consistently growing, rising higher and higher. We just spoke about cause and effect, and irrespective of what your belief system is, irrespective of whether you believe in cause and effect or not, it applies. It applies in our life. And how is it possible? Because of change. Because of change, it makes all things possible. So many things possible. We have boundless, countless possibilities. So because of this change, we know we can transform by abiding, by having this awareness of what is going on. And while we have awareness, we have that choice. What is arising? Do we invest in it or don't we invest in it? Do we carry on this thought? Is it going to bring about a positive result? Is it planting the causes for happiness? Or is it going to bring about a negative result? Is it planting the causes of future suffering? Very important is our intention, our motivation. Why are we doing this? What is the purpose of doing this? Are we practicing bodhicitta? Are we practicing love and kindness? Are we practicing Buddhism for praise, so that people will like us, for fame, for reputation, for wealth even? If those are our motivations, in the beginning it might seem very good, but it is planting the seeds of future suffering. It has selfish motives. On the other side, if you're practicing to benefit others, and it's really to benefit others, then you're planting the seeds of happiness, the causes, and later you'll reap the benefits of those causes. Everything comes about because of cause and effect. Nothing happens without its causes. Why are we suffering? Because of the causes. We've planted the seeds of these causes, and now these seeds have ripened. So when we know this, we take responsibility. As we say, instead of pointing one finger that way, 3 fingers pointing this way. So we take responsibility. Why am I experiencing this now? Because this is my own fault actually. In the past, I planted these seeds. And now I'm enjoying or experiencing or suffering the fruit. But in this as well, sometimes what happens is people say, oh, it's cause and effect, it's your problem, you caused it. And then they don't have any patience or love and kindness, forbearance. So number one is practicing of Bodhicitta. Number one is practicing love and kindness, compassion. Even although they're suffering because they've planted those causes, treat them with love and kindness. If you can help them, help them. And helping them as well. Sometimes it's reciting a mantra. It's also helping. I know I've heard some of the teachers saying that if you see an animal that's dead on the side of the road, recite Om Mani Padme Hum on behalf of the animal. And it creates a connection between you and the animal. And later on, maybe in a future life, suddenly there's somebody that comes to help you. Because maybe from reciting that Om Mani Padme Hum, for really wishing that whoever, the animal that has died or the person that has died, has a good rebirth, it brings about positive causes. You plant positive seeds. And it can be of benefit to them. So, we practice Bodhicitta. But it's important that we practice it without conditions. We practice love. We have love. But how often do we have love without any conditions? Recently, you're talking to somebody about love and relationships, and it's really difficult. It really takes a lot of practice. It's not easy to love other people unconditionally. Love without expecting anything back. We love them for who they are, not for who we want them to be. So often we do things for people, but in reality there are some conditions. I help you, then one day you go to that person and say, hey, I need some help. And they say, oh, sorry, I really can't help you, I'm busy. We feel very upset. I've helped you so much, I've done so much for you, and you've got no time to help me now. Conditions. So if you can really give and you don't feel hurt or disappointed or disillusioned, if they don't give you anything back, if they don't help you, or even they treat you badly, or they ignore you, or they embarrass you in front of other people, then there's a good chance that you've done this unconditionally. But if you harbor some kind of resentment or unhappiness because they don't help you back, or they don't respect you, or they somehow treat you unfairly, then there's a good chance that you do have some conditions. Still, do your best. Practice again and again, and we become better and better at it. So look at Buddha. He gave his body to a tiger. Before he attained Buddhahood in a previous life, there's a story. It's at a place called Nama Buddha, which is not far from here in Kathmandu. Just 2 hours or 3 hours drive. And there was a starving tigress with 5 cubs. And he was walking, I don't know, with somebody else, and he said to that person, you go ahead. And when the person went ahead, he then gave his body to the tigress so she could feed her cubs. How many of us would be able to do this? But I also don't recommend that we try to do this. It's a gradual process. Slowly, slowly, we can be able to do this. But in the beginning, rather practice. Okay, if you have this state of realization, by all means, that's incredible. And it said that those 5 cubs, in a future life, when he attained enlightenment, they became his first 5 disciples. So we also see the link of cause and effect over here. We all have our faults. Every one of us. Kings, beggars, they all have their faults. So it's very important to look at the big picture. Sometimes we look at people and we see their 1 or 2 or few good things. We don't see how many of their negatives they have. Because we really like this person, so this is what we see. And other people, they may have many, many positive attributes, but we only see 1 or 2 of their negative attributes. And so we don't like them, or we ignore them. Could even be that somebody actually hurts somebody. Could even be that somebody kills somebody. And we have this, they're very bad, they're terrible. But it might not be the case. They might really be fantastic people. They might be great people, just that they've got a little bit lost. And then they're really going to suffer from it. So, we often hold on to what we shouldn't, and we let go of what we should hold on to. We remember these labels. We hold on to them. Good, bad, nasty. And all the pith instructions and the teachings our teachers give us, we forget them. And we forget to practice them. Instead of holding on to, including them into our mind stream and practicing them, all the pith instructions and the teachings of our teachers. And letting go of all of these labels, good, bad, nasty. And people have. It's also important to know what's going on, to see what's going on, to see what's really going on with the problem. There's many aspects to a problem. There might be the issue now, but we don't know all the things that built up to the problem now. There could have been many, many little things that have built up, and then somebody gets unhappy and then they look like the bad person. How much, who's contributed to what? What's really going on? This is also important, and people have interesting ideas about Buddhists. People say, you're a Buddhist. How are you getting angry? Buddhists don't get angry. Buddhists don't drink beer. If you do any of these things, it's like this Buddhist jail. This is not what it's about. What it is about, a gradual process. If you can do it quicker, of course, the quicker the better. A gradual process of transforming our afflictive emotions, transforming our negative habits into love and kindness and compassion, into the 6 parameters and the 4 boundless qualities. Love, kindness, compassion, joy and equanimity. Slowly that it becomes more and more part of our mind stream, that we naturally have these positive habits instead of following our negative habits and negative karma. And really it takes time, it takes effort. And sometimes you take a few steps forward and 1 or 2 back. Keep on going. Really investigate what brings about happiness. It's also understanding cause and effect. Understand what are the causes of happiness, what are the causes of suffering. It's not just important to have the happiness, because happiness is temporary. It's going to disappear again. So we have to create those causes again. So continuously create causes. If you're creating the causes, if you're planting the seeds, then the fruits can grow. And know what the causes of suffering are. Because we might be trying to avoid the suffering, but we're planting all the causes, we're planting all the seeds for suffering. It's very important to know this as well. And knowing to be able to help yourself, to control yourself, to discipline yourself, to be diligent in doing it. And it's important that you can also know how to first help yourself. If you help yourself, and you really treat yourself with kindness and love, then you've got a much better ability to be able to help others, to treat others with love and kindness, to help others. If you're full of positive energy, it very easily rubs off onto other people. Now, loving yourself doesn't mean a selfish love. It means practicing cause and effect, knowing that causes and effect is real, it's infallible. So be kind to yourself, plant the seeds that make you happy, not that cause your suffering. Treat others with love and kindness. This is being kind to yourself. So it's changing this way of thinking, this model of thinking. Investigate how things really are. Realize the truth of impermanence. Many people, so many of us are chasing these experiences, these perceptions. And they're just thinking of the now. And we said it's important to live in the now, but also remember that what we do in the now affects our future. So some people just look to satisfy what they want now. They don't think of what the future result may be. Like going gambling or drinking or smoking or taking drugs or having affairs. feels good for now, but then the effect wears off, or the event is over, and then we want more. Often it causes problems with relationships, problems with our health. Habit sometimes costs a lot of money, like gambling. We stay there and we gamble. Why? Because we're looking for some entertainment. Is it entertainment for everybody else, for the benefit of everybody else? No, it's for ourselves. And often people lose a lot of money. Why? Sometimes because of pride. Remember, the odds are against you. If the odds were in your favor, how would the gambling houses make money? But you stay there because you start losing money. You're too proud to admit you're losing money, so you carry on. Or else, a lot of attachment. One more bet. I'm going to earn that million. I'm going to earn so much money. One more bet, one more bet, one more bet. Attachment. And so because of those afflictive emotions, we stay there longer, and then we get ourselves into a lot of trouble. For the little bit of excitement, or that little bit of not feeling embarrassed, or having that desire to have so much, afterwards we suffer greatly. Throw away a lot of money. So it's important not to just think about satisfying the now. By satisfying the now, what is the future effect? Is it going to harm you or not? If it's going to harm you, then rather abstain. Stay away from it. Don't indulge in it. If it's going to benefit you and others in the future, go for it. So we need to have wisdom. We need to have an understanding of these things. To increase love and kindness. To increase our patience, our forbearance. The 6 parameters, and reduce these negative emotions, these afflictions. Then gradually we change our body, our speech and our mind. We change our mind, and less we enter into those actions with our body and our speech. When we first meet people, we don't discriminate, we don't have attachment. But after we've known them for a while, suddenly we like them more, attachment develops, or we dislike them, don't want to be near them. We dislike them, then we start to like them. Or we like them, really like them, and then we dislike them intensely. It's this mind. Where does this come from? It comes from our mind. It's our discrimination, our attachment that arises from our own mind stream. So it's important to still help ourselves, but to help yourself with wisdom. And to help yourself with love and kindness, benefit others. If you really have a habit of maybe smoking, drinking, gambling, taking drugs, rather use that money to give it to somebody else. Maybe help somebody with their schooling, with their education, with food, with warmth, with shelter, with protection. Forsaking your wish for the now, just for that happiness, to satisfy that want. You can bring a lot of happiness, a lot of joy to somebody else. It can really make a significant difference in their lives. And if you do that, it makes you happy as well. You happy and they're happy. This is much more happiness than if you just think of your own happiness, just for yourself. We work so hard to please ourselves. At the end of the day, maybe we are pleased, but for how long? Maybe at the end of the day, we're not pleased at all. It's nothing as we expected. It's like buying clothes sometimes. Wow, I really want those clothes. We might even consider it for a while. And those are the clothes I want. I'm going to go and buy them. And maybe we do. Maybe we get them. We'll enjoy them. But how long does that joy last for? After we've taken those clothes off the first time we've worn them, do we still have that happiness? It's also possible that we don't get that happiness we're looking for. We could have buyer's remorse. We get home, we try them on, and we think, what was I thinking? I can't go out of these, and we never wear them again. How many people has that happened to? Or else we wear it. We're feeling quite happy with ourselves, and then somebody says something a little bit nasty, Or they don't mean to be nasty, but it hurts you. You feel uncomfortable in them. They say, it doesn't fit you, or it looks a little bit, makes you look a little bit rounder. And you don't want to wear them again. All that happiness is gone. So really, by giving to others, it can bring a lot more happiness. Of course, it doesn't guarantee that they will be grateful. But for most people, if you help them, when they're needy, later on, when they have the means, they often are the ones that help other people. They remember how they felt when others helped them, and they very easily give to others. I often see it. People that have had to flee from their countries, from where they lived. They had a lot of hardship for many years. Later on, they're okay. They have materially, they have sufficient. They're often giving to those. You see them giving to those again and again, to those that are needy. And everything changes. The rich become poor, the poor become rich. We've all seen it. And I think naturally we're all very kind. Our inner nature is kind, just that it's been hidden by all of these afflictions. The sky has been hidden by the clouds. So to remember that all beings have at once been our parents. And so as best as we can, let's repay their kindness. And what we're going to talk about today is we're starting about this most special Bodhicitta. This Bodhicitta that he was an incredible practitioner, but Togme Zampo, Langre Tampa, wrote the 8 verses of mind training. That Togme Zampo wrote these 37 practices of a Bodhisattva. So important. These are the backbone, the head, the shoulders, the eyes of the teachings. I'm going to read the first verse, verse 10. The practice of all bodhisattvas is to arise bodhicitta, so as to bring freedom to all sentient beings, infinite in number. For how can true happiness ever be found while our mothers, who have cared for us throughout the ages, endure such pain? I think I've got a lot to say today. So I'm going to end this broadcast here, and in a few moments start another one. It's going to continue, so you have time to listen to it at different times if you want. Let's dedicate the merits first of this teaching. First, we dedicate these merits and the merits of all beings from beginningless time to endless time. First, to our perfect teachers, to Gyalwai Nyuku, Lama Achuk Rinpoche, Trulga Arik Rinpoche, in the greatest of gratitude, because due to them, we know about Bodhicitta, about the practices of the Dharma, and our lives become better and better. And to all sentient beings. Sonam daye tamcha dzapani, topni nyepe tranang khacheja, geka nachir balang trupai, tsipu tsoli droa sho.